The problem with Musk, and I said this from the beginning, he gave false hope to this political class who doesn't want to cut anything. Show me the money. Show me what you did, bro.
Hey, very quickly, if you understand the threat that our country currently faces and you find importance in independent media, I would hope that you would subscribe to this channel. I just found out that more than 60% of the people who view my videos are not subscribed. That's over the course of the last 90 days. So please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's free and it goes a long way to supporting the efforts here on this channel, but also broadly in independent media. Speaking of threats to the country, let's talk about Steve Bannon today. Yesterday on his program, he went out. It's a full-out assault, full frontal assault on Elon Musk. There is a civil war brewing within the MAGA community led by, tip of the spear, Steve Bannon. The problem here is, one, we should be a little gleeful that there's always chaos in the MAGA movement and infighting and different factions going at each other's throats. But I think it's dangerous in this particular element, and that is the fact that Steve Bannon is a very dangerous character. He is a true believer. There's a lot of people who are, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to retract a little bit, but there's a lot of people who are just sheer opportunists, who just want to be close to power, who just want to be close to Donald Trump to get a whiff of his essence, if you will. And while Steve Bannon absolutely is an opportunist who does want to be close to power, he is also a true believer in the cause. So much so that he's willing to attack publicly, aggressively, Elon Musk. I'm going to play this clip. I'm going to stop it in the middle or so and talk about it a little and then let him finish. But it is something that we should keep our eye on right now, because there are a few people in the MAGA movement who are recognizing Elon Musk for what he is and calling him out for the same things we've been saying for quite a while.
War Room. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Yeah, I want to pop a bubble here because some people are still in the chat room. There are no Doge cuts. Let me repeat this. And this is not USAID. Those are programmatic things. I'm talking about waste fraud. Where's the fraud in Medicaid? Which is where is it? Haven't showed up with any. Has anybody been turned over to DOJ for fraud? The problem with Musk, and I said this from the beginning, he gave false hope to this political class who doesn't want to cut anything. The reason, if the big beautiful bill's got all these problems and it has some issues, he drove it because he promised $1 trillion, ladies and gentlemen, $1 trillion that got him off the hook. It's time for everybody to grow up. Run around, show me where it is. The rescission next week is $9 billion, and $2 billion, folks, is PBS and NPR. Give me a break. Didn't need Doge for that. Been fighting for that one forever. There's $7 billion in there supposedly of, fraud. On a $7 trillion, he committed to the President of the United States $1 trillion.
Finally, someone within the MAGA movement has what it takes to call out the obvious fraud that is Doge, that is Elon Musk. Where are the savings? Took you a while, Stevie. Took you too long, if you ask me. And now that conservative outlets are starting to report it, it's being picked up by people like Steve Bannon. There are no Doge cuts. Where is the fraud in Medicaid? Has anybody been turned over to the DOJ for fraud? These are the same things, the same points that are being made by Steve Bannon now that you just heard that have been being made by me and others in my cohort here in independent media for quite a while. Not only, and he doesn't even really talk about this, is the lies and the editing and the bold claims about billions of dollars in savings, hundreds of billions of dollars in savings, just to be secretly, quietly deleted overnight from the website, the Doge website, or on Twitter or whatever. This is all something that has been apparent publicly for months and months and months. months and months and months. Yeah, that's 3 months because it's, been 3 months. It doesn't stop here, though. He goes into a little bit more detail, and the assault on Elon Musk continues.
He committed to the President of the United States $1 trillion. That's where the Wall Street Journal article the other day said the president said, hey, is this all BS? Show me the money. He wants to talk money? Show me what you did, bro. This is a brutal article. And you know why it's a brutal article, ladies and gentlemen? Because people in the administration, not War Room, not Real America's Voice, not Breitbart, this came from sources to Mark Caputo from the administration in the White House, the West Wing. And they're brutal. Number one, he wanted the massive EV, which is a scam. It's a scam to prop up the Chinese Communist Party owned Tesla, or the joint venture in Shanghai zone, to prop it up. That's why he needs EV. Listen, you want to talk like an adult? Let's talk. The FAA on Starlinks, no, they need a fiber optic. They can't depend upon the satellite. You need fiber optics. Sorry, not sorry. He wants another big government contract. Fanboys. The NASA guy, why is the NASA guy out? Because they don't want anybody near him that's going to be doling out big contracts. But the most brutal of all these revelations, Caputo, is your second, that he wanted to stick around. And the White House, which doesn't do anything that President Trump doesn't approve, said, nah, we think your time is up.
He had to get the little obsequious, nothing happens in this White House without Donald Trump's approval. But also highlighting all of the boondoggles, if you will, all of the little pet projects that will enrich Elon Musk that were not touched. They boldly proclaimed that they were going to curtail defense spending. And what happened? They added $150 billion to the defense budget. We're now over a proposed budget of over $1 trillion for a single year in peacetime. The EV tax credits, which are all good programs, but they do benefit Elon Musk. All of these other things, the contracts he has with the State Department, all of the hundreds of billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars that end up being in the billions that add to Elon Musk's net worth, straight from we the people. And finally, someone within MAGA, maybe the motivation is not pure here because there is a conflict between Steve Bannon and Elon Musk. But nonetheless, it's good to see, even if it's for the wrong reasons, that MAGA ears, the unwashed, low information rubes within MAGA who are followers of Steve Bannon are going to hear this and be like, oh, so maybe the things I've been hearing on YouTube from people like Jesse Dollemore and others, that's true. It's true. Unless you're a MAGA troll out there and you believe Steve Bannon is a liar here. You think he's lying? You think that Elon Musk's ejection from the inner circle of the White House is just a coincidence? You can't have it all the ways. Anyway, what do you think out there? I'd love to know. You can call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can comment below. You can email me, daily@dollemore.com. There's all kinds of ways to get in touch. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore. Once again, the greatest way that you can help support this program is subscribing. Click the subscribe button below. It is free. And we're trying to grow this program, one, for the dissemination of information, but also to grow to where we're more difficult to mess with from the Trump administration, which is something that is increasingly becoming apparent that it's going to happen. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.